In today's video, I'm doing a reading vlog. Me reading new releases. What am I reading? She's gonna be getting with her ex-boyfriend's dad. Charlotte. I didn't enjoy it. Kind of a sad video. Hey guys, it's Emma. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm doing a reading vlog. And this reading vlog is gonna be me reading new releases. Every time there are new releases coming up, I get so excited, obviously, because it's a new book. And usually I get excited for new releases that I've read books like by the author before or in the series. There are a few books that have come out either like the end of February or they're coming out in March, like the beginning of March. I really want to read them, so I decided why not just read them for this video. There's also more new releases coming out like in April and May. So I'll probably do another one of these videos so I could read those books, because I think there is one book that I want to read in this video that's like a very high anticipated release for me. I think the ones that are coming out like April, May, I'm more excited for a little bit, but these are just like chill new releases that I've read some of the books from before, either in the series or by the author, and I want to read it for this video. I think the first book I'm going to read for this video is The Charty Method. This is the third and I think the last book in this series. I've heard that she's going to continue writing books in like the Briar University universe. That's what I meant to say. But I think this is the last book in this little series. I think it's, what is the series called? Campus Diaries. That's what it's called. So this is the third and final book in that series. This is about a sorority girl. I'm guessing her name is Charlie. I've heard odd things about this book. I've heard that this is, there's like a saying for it or an acronym. I think it's like MFM, and it's like male on female on male, and it's basically like when a female, like the female main character, is with both the male main characters, but the male main characters aren't with each other. I've never read a book like that, so this is a little conflicting because I don't know how I'm gonna feel about that book, about this book. We'll see, but I have been excited for these two male main characters books because we've seen them in the last two books, and they're very like fun, outgoing characters. So I'm excited to see how like their romance is gonna be with the female main character, but also like how is it supposed to work? I guess we'll find out, but I don't know if I'm gonna enjoy it because I usually like normal romance books, like with boy, girl. I don't know, maybe I'm judging it too soon. I think I'm just gonna read it and see how I like it. One thing about her books in this series, they're kind of lengthy, so I hope, not that I'm in a book slump, but I haven't been reading as much as I usually do, so I'm hoping this doesn't like bring me more down. I already downloaded it on my Kindle. It was like 700 something pages, but that's also because like the font, the way that I read it, this is my font. I don't know if that's normal or not, but I moved it over to my Kindle so I could read it on my Kindle. We're gonna see chapter 1, Charlotte. Oh, I guess like Charlie's her nickname. I was like, where did Charlie come from? Okay, well, I'm gonna start reading. I don't think I'm gonna film myself reading, at least not right now, because 1, I'm sick, and 2, I have cramps. So literally double homicide. I feel terrible. So I think I'll just probably update you guys when I get to a point where I feel like I have enough to say about the book. But yeah, I just want to lay in bed right now, so reading is the go-to, so I decided to start this video. We're gonna start The Charty Method. Hey guys, good morning. It is 9 o'clock in the morning. The next day? No, the day after the next day of the last clip I filmed. I'm currently drinking chocolate milk because I think I said this, but I'm currently having terrible cramps whenever it's that time of the month for me. Mine lasts 10 days, and the first 3 days and like the last 2 days, I have the worst cramps ever. I'm drinking chocolate milk so that I could take 2 Advil pills because you're supposed to eat before you take Advil, but I don't feel like eating right now, so chocolate milk it is. That is what I'm doing right now. I was gonna update you guys yesterday on like where I was at on the book and all my thoughts, but like I said, I was having terrible cramps last night. Felt terrible. I literally went to sleep at 8 o'clock. I don't even know. Yeah, so I'm here to update you guys now on my thoughts on, what am I reading? The Charty Method. Currently 51% through it, actually. That's literally where I stopped last night. I have thoughts. I definitely do have thoughts. I have mixed feelings on it, and I was starting to feel like this with the first 2 books, but I really see it in this book, and I feel like the author is just trying to make her books extremely long. What was it? The Graham Effect and the Dixon Rule. those two books were really long. Yeah, I was like, this could have been like 100 pages shorter, but I see why it was that long, like a little bit. But this book, 50% through it, the characters have interacted not even more than like 5 times. And you would think at this point they would. This book is just so long that it feels like for a regular book, at this point I would be done with it, but somehow I'm only halfway through it, and the thought of having to read 50% more of this book, I'm like, oh my god, that's gonna take forever. It literally says I have 3 hours and 50 minutes left, meaning that this book was originally like probably 8 hours to finish. I just feel like the first 50% of the book that I've currently read has been going, it's been going slow. There's just so much information that we're getting because, like I said, this book is based on like 2 male main characters and 1 female main character. You're getting all of their personal lives, and that's another thing that I feel like all authors have been doing recently, that they make a romance book more than a romance book, if that makes any sense. Like, they want us to know about like their personal lives, which does make sense, but then there's like the romance is a plot, and then the personal life is a plot of the other character, and then of the other character. But here we have 3 characters, so then we have their romance, the female main character's plot, and then the 2 male main characters' personal plot. So it's like there's so much going on. That's why the book is so long, but also I feel like it is not that important. We don't need to know about their personal lives to know about their romantic lives, and even if we do, we don't need to get like that much information on it. And I feel like that's what this book has been doing. Like, I don't know, there's just so much information on here that it's like, do we really need to know this to read? Like, I just wanted a romance book, and now I'm like learning about 3 main characters and their personal life problems that we don't really need to know about. It's just like annoying because I just want to read the book and it's just taking so long. I would DNF it. I'm already 50% through it. I wonder how their romance is gonna go. Like, I am interested in the romance part. That's the thing. Like, I want to see where the romance goes, but then to get the romance, you have to get through all the chapters about like their personal lives, and you get all their point of views in this book, but you get mostly Charlotte's and Will's. I feel like we barely get Beckett. I know this type of like book, it isn't about picking what guy you like more, but because we get so much more of Will, I lean more towards him, and like I like him more, which I still like Beckett, but we barely get any of his point of view. And when we're in their point of view, I'm not saying I want his personal life. I want how he feels about Charlotte, but we rarely get that. I'm not hating the book. Like I said, I am interested to see where this romance is gonna go. I've never read a book like this before, so it is like very interesting to read about, but then it's getting ruined by like all the extra fluff that's in the book that just doesn't need to be there. Like I said, it currently says I have 3 hours and 50 minutes left, so I don't know if I'm gonna finish today. I mean, I have nothing else to do today until I have class at night at 5. Maybe I will finish reading it today. I'm not sure. I feel like this book, it's not an easy book to binge. At least that's how I feel. So that's why it's been a little bit hard for me to get through it. Also, today is Monday. It's March 3rd, which today Wild Side releases by Elsie Silver. So that's another reason why I'm kind of hoping to finish this today, if not tomorrow, because I did order it this past weekend on Amazon, because Amazon is obviously cheaper than going to Barnes & Noble. I did want to like go to Barnes & Noble, make it a cute thing, but I don't want to be wasting that much money on books like that anymore when I could easily get it for cheaper. I ordered it on Amazon, and even though it releases today, it's supposed to be getting delivered at my house tomorrow. So that's why I'm hoping to finish this book today or tomorrow, so then I could start Wild Side, which I'm so excited for that. This book, I have to get through this book. But my thoughts on this book right now, I think it's gonna be around like the 3-star range, just because, I don't know, like, I'm not that interested in like their personal lives that much. Like, I feel like, yeah, we could get a little bit, like, in other romance books, you do get some of their personal life, and it is like brought into the romance, but it's usually like when the male main character's like helping them with their personal life, but they haven't even talked to each other about their personal lives. That's why it's like, oh my god, it's not important. But those are all my thoughts on the book right now. I think I'm gonna continue reading right now. I'm gonna try and finish this chocolate milk so I could take my 2 Advils, because I'm dying. I'm literally dying. Hopefully I feel better by the time I have to go to class. If not, I simply won't go. I'm not even lying. Especially because the class like isn't mandatory. And honestly, I've only missed like 1 class. And that's because it was President's Day and I thought we didn't have class. We did, apparently. So anyway, I went on a tangent about class. And may I add, I just came off spring break. Weird. Our spring break was the last week of February. It's not even spring yet. Literally terrible. terrible, but I can still act like it's spring break. I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna finish my chocolate milk, take my Advil, and continue reading. Okay, crazy angle. I just had to pick up the camera because I am 75% through now. I still have the exact same thoughts. This is honestly a crazy angle. Okay, this is a little bit better, but I am 75% through now and I still have the exact same thoughts. I think there is so much fluff in this book that's just making it longer for no reason. And I'm just trying to like get through it. I catch myself honestly like, you know when you read a page and then you're like, wait, I low-key didn't really comprehend anything that happened, I have to read it again. I've caught myself doing that so many times already and I don't even bother to reread it because I can easily catch up wherever I am and we're still talking about the exact same thing. Like I know I didn't miss anything. It is a little hard to get through this book because a lot of it is just like unnecessary information. I wanted to record right now because there has been this like talk about a dad chat, and if you guys don't know, this series is the kids from Briar U, or no, Off Campus, the Off Campus series. Yeah, it's their kids. That's what this like whole series is about. So there's this talk about a dad chat, and obviously the guys from Off Campus, it's their dad chat. They just got added in. Most of the like new hockey player like guy main characters, they just got added into the dad chat because one of the dad's daughters, which I'm hoping we get a book on her next. We're hearing a lot about her in this book, which she's honestly probably one of the most entertaining things in this book, but I hope we get her book like soon. Basically, she's not getting stalked, but this guy really wants her and she's so sick of him, and I guess her dad found out about it. He added all these guys to this group chat and he's like, you guys need to like take care of my daughter because she's too sweet to speak up for herself, so please get this guy like away from her. And it's just so good like to see these characters again. It's making me want to read the Off Campus series again. And the TV series is coming out. I honestly think I might reread it before the TV series. I might be rereading them as they come out. So obviously the first season is going to be Garrett and Hannah. So I'll probably reread their book first and then watch the show, and then whenever the next season comes out, I'll reread that book, and then, you know, yeah, I can't wait. And this is honestly making me more excited to watch the season and honestly reread the books. But it's just so funny, like Logan's daughter, so he said, no, we're done here, watch out for Blake. Blake is his daughter. And Dean, one of the guys from the Off Campus series, he says, or die, like joking around. And then Logan says, F off, Dean, if this were one of your daughters, you'd do the same thing. The new hockey players, they're like, can we talk about the Hall of Fame nominations? Like, oh my god, we're gonna talk about hockey with like hockey stars in the same chat. And then the way the chapter ends is them being removed from the group chat. And it's just so funny. Whiskey barking. But I'm on chapter 40 now. I think I have about like 18 chapters left. I think there's like 58 chapters. My thoughts are still the same. I'll probably be back when I'm like super close to finishing the book or done with it. So yeah. I just finished chapter 46. The plot twist, like, first of all, I can't believe there's a plot twist in the book. Why is it actually kind of crazy? Like, I'm baffled. What? Does that even make sense? I don't know. I'm gonna keep reading and see what that's about. But okay guys, so I don't have my Kindle with me right now. It's in my book bag somewhere. But I did end up finishing the charting method and I have some thoughts on it. Let me see if I can pull up the thoughts that I wrote down and see how I remember what I feel about this book, because I remember talking to you guys about my thoughts, so I think you guys kind of know everything already. My hair looks so bad right now. Please ignore it. Please ignore it. There was so much stuff in this book that was like kind of random. The characters that were supposed to be like clearly like the characters you were supposed to like, or like mean characters, they were so mean. Like it was like too much. I was like, oh my gosh, there's actually no need for that. And I understand like you're not supposed to like them, but it was like, okay. I feel like it was making it too obvious that we weren't supposed to like them, and I was like, all right, this is too much. And then I feel like the love confessions to both characters, it was just really weird and random, and I don't know, I feel like it was just very rushed like at the end, and I was like, what? Also, throughout the book, you don't see them. I feel like we didn't see a romance develop at all, honestly. I didn't feel anything between the characters. Like, they obviously, did they have chemistry though? Like, I don't know. I feel like they were just like sleeping with each other and like that was it. I don't know, I didn't feel like a deeper connection between them because obviously Will and Beckett, like they were doing stuff with other girls before and Charlie was like different, but like I don't see why she was different. I don't know, it just didn't feel like she was anything special to them. Yeah, I just really didn't understand this book. And then towards the end, it was just like I was getting annoyed with all the characters and I really wasn't enjoying it. I was so excited to finish the book. That takes me to my rating, which I am going to give this book 2 stars, 2.5 maybe. I don't really know yet. I don't know if I'm giving it 2 or 2.5. I don't think I've ever rated a book 2 stars. I've usually given it 2.5 because it's like, it was bad. There were some parts that I enjoyed it, but for the most part it was bad. And I feel like in the beginning, there were minimal parts that I enjoyed. After the halfway point, I was just like, I do not like this book. I need to get it over with. So yeah, I really don't know what it's gonna be, but it's definitely below 3 stars. It's 2, 2.5, around there. I just like didn't like it. I don't see how other people could like this and like see the connection with the characters. I do love Will and Beckett individually. Charlie, I mean, I like her. I don't like her. I mean, wait, what? I don't hate her, but I don't love her. Like, she's kind of in the middle. She's a mid character, and that literally goes to show like we didn't get much of her like personality, I feel like, in the book. I don't know. I'm like not connected to these characters at all, not connected to the romance. Didn't really like it. I'm so disappointed because I really liked the Dixon Rule. The Dixon Rule is definitely my favorite in that little trilogy, I guess you could say. Yeah, I was so disappointed with this book. And I don't know if it was like the dynamics that it was 2 guy main characters with this girl main character. I was like open to the idea. I thought it was really interesting at first. Like I said, in the beginning, I was like very interested in it. I don't know. I feel like it's not even that. I feel like if we would have seen a deeper connection between Charlie and the other 2 characters, I would have liked it more, but I feel like there was no deeper connection between them. Yeah, I really don't think it was like the dynamics of the book. I think there was just no connection. So yeah, that's the first book that I read for this video. Kind of disappointing, but it's okay because the next book got delivered today while I was at work and we're gonna open it. I can't wait. My address isn't on here, right? Oh. Oh my god! I've never been happier. There's little paw prints on the back. That's so cute. Look at it. Oh my god, is there a dog in here? Oh my god, I cannot wait. Tabitha is her name? That's a crazy name. Tabitha? Reese! Oh my god, his name is Reese. That's such a man name. I'm so interested. What does it say? She's always dreamed of her wedding day, and those dreams never included saying I do to a man she hates. But when Tabitha's nephew's guardianship is contested, she decides she'll do whatever it takes to keep him in Rose Hill, even if it means marrying the enemy, Reese Supris. A man who is secretive, broody, and completely infuriating. A man who works his way... Whoa. A man who works... Oh my god. A man whose work takes him away for weeks on end and brings him back covered in mysterious bruises, ones he won't talk about. In fact, Tabitha and Reese barely talk at all, which would be fine except when he's not talking, he's staring, and the way he looks at her is borderline indecent. The tension between them has always been palpable, but living under the same roof is dangerous temptation. Tabitha swore she would never forgive him, but that was before she knew the man behind the mask. The one who's fierce and protective, the one who's gentle and patient, the one who shows up for her and her nephew when they need him most. He's not at all who she thought he was, and that makes hating her husband so much harder and loving him a little too easy. I can't wait. If you guys don't know, the last book in this series, Wild Eyes, I gave 5 stars. Loves that book so much. First book, Wild Love, I gave like, I think I would give it like 4 stars probably. It was good. I just didn't love it as much as like other books. But Wild Eyes was so good. 5 stars. So I'm interested to see what I'm gonna think about this book. We've been getting hints on these characters, how you could tell they do not like each other at all. So I'm interested to see how like their relationship is gonna be in this book, but I'm also excited because obviously this is an Elsie Silver book and I love Elsie Silver. I love the cowboy romances. I don't know if this guy's a cowboy, but he lives in Rose Hill. So all the guys in these series by Elsie Silver, they're automatically in my head, they're cowboys. So it doesn't matter if they're a cowboy or not, to me, they are. Yeah, I can't wait to start this book. I don't know if I'm gonna start it tonight, but I just wanted to already open it because I'm so excited. It's literally gonna go on my dresser. No, not my dresser. My night table. Yeah, I'll see you guys when we start outside. I kind of hit that note, actually. Okay, ignore the vacuum. I'm only talking for a second, but I'm starting Wildside. I literally only have like 30 minutes to read because I have to go to work and to class. I have nothing to do, and I'm dying to start this, so I'm gonna start it right now, and I'm so excited. The dedication is so cute. It's pretty long, but the last part says, they say that your dog is your best friend for a short time, but that you are their best friend for their whole life. And I say that makes me pretty damn lucky. That's the cutest thing ever. I'm on chapter 3 now. I've read obviously 2 chapters, and I've always loved how quick Elsie Silver gets into her story. Like already in the first 2 chapters, the characters have interacted twice. I just love it. I love reading an Elsie Silver book, and it's just so easy and quick to read. I'm gonna go to Goodreads now, update my status that I'm reading this book. It's probably one of my favorite things to do when I start reading a book, to go to Goodreads and change my status to currently reading. There you go. I'm currently reading. It's literally probably one of my favorite things to do. I love it so much. Hey guys, so I haven't updated my thoughts on Wildside yet. I did go on the boat yesterday and I read a good 5 chapters actually. I felt so at peace on the boat reading, so I was able to get through a lot. I feel like I don't have any crazy thoughts on this book yet, just because I feel like we've gotten nowhere. Kind of, like a little bit. We have gotten somewhere because I am like 65% of the way through this book. It doesn't feel like anything like strong is building. At the beginning of this book, these characters like clearly don't like each other, or more she doesn't like him. He like kind of has a crush on her. I do love characters like that, when the main character has a crush on the girl and he like doesn't admit it and she just like can't stand him. I love stuff like that. I think throughout the book that like from what I've read, they've grown to like tolerate each other. They're clearly attracted to each other. You find that out like first chapter of the book. They are attracted to each other, but she cannot stand him and he obviously doesn't care. He has a crush on her. When they start to tolerate each other, you see them grow like more attracted to each other, but I feel like it's all like just sexual tension. I think they literally just have sexual tension and that's why they're so like intrigued by each other. I don't think anything like strong is building yet. We do still have like 40-ish% of the way through this book to see if anything builds, but I feel like at this point there should already be a sign of like something strong that's there. Like I feel like the only thing they have in common and they are starting to like each other more is because of Milo, which is the kid in this book. They just have a respect for each other, that Milo is the reason we're doing this like whole marriage of convenience thing. Every time he's with Milo, she's like, wow, he looks so cute, like dealing with Milo, and then vice versa when she's with him. I feel like it's more in his point of view. You see him find more respect for Tabitha and like what she's been through, how she's dealing with Milo, and basically all of that. And in her point of view, I don't know, it's so hard to explain because again, I don't have any crazy thoughts on this book. I don't think it's gonna be as high as the other books, like the rating. Right now, it's probably like 3.5 stars. Like that's how I'm feeling off of the book. Not that the rating matters, I just say it just so that you guys can kind of get an idea on how I'm feeling about this book, because I genuinely do not know how to explain my thoughts. Yeah, so I'm hoping the rest of this book I'm going to be getting deeper with the characters and their romance and everything that's left of this book. I do love reading an Elsie Silver book. It's so easy to read. It has been taking me a few days to read it, not because it's hard to read this book, I just have been busy and haven't had the time to read the book. But today I think I'll be able to finish it. My Kindle says I have 2 hours left and I think I could take 2 hours of my day to finish reading this book. So those are my plans for today. I think what I'm gonna do right now is read on my Kindle, just because I feel like laying down. I did, like you guys saw, I went on the boat yesterday and I'm a little bit like burnt. I just want to lay down and chill. So yeah, I think I'm gonna read on my Kindle for right now and then update you guys later probably on my thoughts. I'm so sorry I haven't been updating as much for this book. I just genuinely don't have any thoughts. So yeah, I'm gonna keep reading. My Kindle says I am 67% through and exactly 2 hours left. So
So, I don't know the last time I updated this video, but I did end up finishing Wild Side. My thoughts on this book are honestly nothing crazy, and I haven't rated an Elsie Silver book this low since I read her very first series. What was it called? Gold Rush Ranch? I think that was what it was called. I haven't rated a book this low since then, and it's not a low rating. I'm giving this book 3.5 stars, so it's nothing terrible. I usually give Elsie Silver books 4 or above, and I don't know, this one just fell short for me. It was like a good story to read about, but was like connected to these characters? No. I feel like usually when I read Elsie Silver books, I connect to the characters, I connect to, you know, the romance, the storyline, the found family, and I feel like in this book I didn't feel connected to them. Like, I didn't care where they ended up, honestly. Like, obviously it was entertaining to read about. I just didn't get the feeling that I get when I usually read an Elsie Silver book, and yeah, it felt like a normal romance book that I would read. Yeah, I honestly don't even know my thoughts on this. I actually wrote a review on this book. I don't remember doing that, but I wrote 3.5 stars. Pains me to do this, but I had to. Elsie Silver books are so easy to binge, so that's a plus, but this story felt rushed, and I feel like there was something that I missed, even though it took me a whole 5 days to read this book. I feel like their relationship developed too quickly and was mostly sexually driven, had its cons, but still had its pros. That is basically how I feel about this book. A lot of this book, there was just a lot of sexual tension between them. That's what drove them to be together. I could see how they cared about each other, but I feel like the only reason they were connected was because of the kid, and just between them I didn't see a stronger connection other than their sexual tension that they had. But yeah, I just didn't see how they connected on a deeper level. Yeah, I don't know, it was honestly really weird, because coming from an Elsie Silver book, she always has these like strong connections between the characters, but between these characters I was like, I don't feel it, I don't see it, I don't know. I didn't love the male main character. Honestly, the female main character, she had me laughing. She is very funny. She's so sarcastic, and I love sarcastic characters in books, so I really did like her. Male main character, he was just like whatever. I will say I do love a male main character that he's secretly obsessed with the female main character and she has no clue, and that was like one aspect in this book that I did like. But again, that's why I gave it 3.5 stars. It was just like, it felt like a normal romance book to me, not like a great Elsie Silver book. So those are kind of my thoughts on this book. I don't know if I made it any clear how I feel about it, but did finish this book, so that's kind of disappointing, because I was so excited for, obviously it's an Elsie Silver book, I was so excited. And the trope that gets revealed at the end, it's ex-boyfriend's dad. Like, for the female main character, she's gonna be getting with her ex-boyfriend's dad. What? I've never read a book like that, and I've heard they're good, so I'm kind of excited. And by Elsie Silver, I'm hoping it's gonna be good. I did start reading another book. I wasn't planning on reading another book for this video. I have one that is releasing March 15th, but it's currently March 11th, so I have to wait a little bit. So I was like, what am I gonna do in between? And I found Promise Me Sunshine by Cara Bestone. She's the author of Ready or Not, and I've heard great things about that book, so I was like, you know what if I just read this book, and if I like it, I'll read Ready or Not. So yeah, I started reading it. I'm on chapter 5, and so far I'm liking it. There's nothing crazy going on. Obviously, I'm only on chapter 5. I don't know, I'm interested to see where the story is gonna go. Obviously, a lot of people have liked Ready or Not. I'm hoping this book will be the same. I checked the ratings on Goodreads, and a lot of people have rated it 5 or 4 stars. There's very little 3 stars, but again, this book just came out, so there's not a lot of ratings on it, but the ones that are there, they're 5 or 4 stars, so I'm excited to read this book and get into it. I haven't had time to read. I've been busy with like school and work, but hopefully I'll have time to read tomorrow to get a little bit more through this book, because I really want to get through it. I'm intrigued to see if I'm gonna like this book. It's a new author. I've never read a book by this author, so reading a book by a new author is always just interesting to see if like you like their writing, and then you can read all of their other books. Yeah, that is the next book I am reading for this video, so I'm excited.
Hey guys, so as you can tell, I'm very comfy in bed right now, and I'm gonna be so honest, I could sit up and get my camera and film an actual clip for this video, but I don't feel like it. So this is how I'm going to film this video. Yeah, so last time I updated you guys, I told you I was reading Promise Me Sunshine on my Kindle, and I'm currently like 65% through it, and so far I don't really have any thoughts on the book. I was really excited going into this because obviously I'd heard so much about this author, and I don't know if it was her first book or like her book that got really popular, Ready or Not, and I heard a lot of good things about that book, so I was excited to read this one and see like maybe I'll like it since the other one was so popular, and I saw a lot of like good ratings on this one too. Maybe like this just isn't my book, because I don't feel a connection between these characters. It's honestly just I see them as friends. I feel like 65% through, you should at least see or feel something, and I feel like now is when she's starting to be like, oh wait, maybe he like actually cares about me. But it's like throughout the whole book, it's so clear that he does care about her, but also it's like in the friendship way. But it's just so, not frustrating, but just reading the whole book, there's nothing going on. They're just doing like mundane activities. And also another thing is this book is very focused on grief, and it says that like when you start the book, but I didn't realize like how much of this book is actually focused on grief. I feel like that is the main point of the book. It's like probably a subplot of romance, honestly. So yeah, that kind of threw me off a little bit because I thought it would be a romance book, which I'm pretty, it's like supposed to be a romance book, but I feel like majority of the book is just talking about grief and like what she's been through, what he's been through, how he's helping her get through this, and you're seeing much more of that than even like their connection. Yeah, that's how I feel about the book so far. I don't hate it. There's not anything about the book that I'm like, I hate this. Not feeling like a romance to me. It's feeling like friends that are still friends at 65%. So I'm wondering how it's going to pick up these next few chapters, because I have a feeling it's just gonna be a switch. Like they went from being friends, like caring for each other, and then it's just gonna be a switch like, oh, I just think we would be great together. I don't really know. Another thing that kind of sucks, because I like dual point of views just to see what both main characters are feeling, and in this book you only get the female main character's point of view. And I feel like in a book like this that's about grief, and it's clearly trying to build a strong connection between these characters because they've both dealt with something traumatizing in their lives. So I feel like having the male main character's point of view in this book would have been smart to include, and it would have made the story better, I feel like. But since we don't have his point of view, it's a little bit hard to see their connection and to understand like how they're gonna even get somewhere. Yeah, those are all my thoughts on this book so far. I plan on finishing this today. It's been taking me a while to read this book just because I've been so busy, but I have no plans today, and it's currently 12 o'clock. Plan on reading this and hopefully finishing it today, and then I'll update you guys on my thoughts. I also don't know if this is going to be the last book I'm reading for this video. I had another book planned, but I don't know if I'm in the mood, and I don't want to like force myself to read a book if I'm not in the mood. Those are my thoughts on the book so far. I'll get back to you guys when I'm probably like finishing it or I have finished it.
Hi guys, so I feel like I haven't talked to you guys in a bit just because right after I finished Promise Me Sunshine, I wanted to completely forget about the book, so I didn't update this video, but it is time. I have to update and finish this video because I have concluded that I think that was going to be the last book I was going to read for this video. I was going to read the Strawberry Patch Pancake House, because that was a new release too. Those books by Lori Gilmore are very cute, but after the books that I read in this video, I was just not in the mood to read another book that I knew I wasn't going to absolutely love. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna finish this video off with Promise Me Sunshine. That's exactly what we're doing. So to update you guys on my thoughts on Promise Me Sunshine, I did finish the book, and I think I'm giving it like 2.5 stars. I didn't enjoy it. I don't really know what to say about this book. I am disappointed because I had heard so many good things about this author and her first book, Ready or Not. I don't know if it's her first book, but the book that got popular, Ready or Not, everyone like loved that book, so I thought, okay, this book should be good. I looked at the reviews after, and I am gonna read a review because sometimes when it comes to books that I don't like, I want to feel like validated. I don't want to feel like I'm the only person that didn't like a book. So recently, if I don't like a book, I've been going to the reviews just to make sure like I'm not the only one and someone else feels the same as me. So that's exactly what I did. But I looked at some reviews, and a lot of people were like that they were disappointed by this book, and they were shocked because it didn't feel like Ready or Not and how they felt about that book. So I still want to read Ready or Not. I was thinking about how when I first read an Abby Jimenez book, the first book I read by her was Life's Too Short, and I didn't like that book. So I was like, I'm never gonna read a book by this author again. And then she got really, really popular, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try her again. And then I ended up really liking Just for the Summer. I'm gonna do the same with this author because I've heard great things about Ready or Not, and people were saying this book does not compare to Ready or Not. Like, I loved that book, and this book just felt so different. So I have hope for Ready or Not still, but yeah, this book, I just didn't enjoy it. So I'm gonna read the review for this book. It is kind of long, but I'm gonna kind of like not read some things in here. For a romance book, I was not romanced. The grief took over any good tension, and I felt zero chemistry until maybe the last 15%. That right there describes how I felt about the whole book. I felt like the whole book was mainly focused on the grief and not the romance. I did not feel the romance whatsoever until like the last maybe 30% of the book, and it honestly came like out of nowhere. She just kind of started like saying like, oh, I'm super attracted to him, and we were like, at least I was like, whoa, this kind of came out of nowhere. Like, I thought you guys were just friends, and now all of a sudden she like wanted to be with him. And also from the beginning of the book, she has this thing where she like fantasizes about like what her life looks like with like random guys she sees. And even when she's like starting to fall for this guy, the male main character in the book, she's fantasizing about another guy, and I'm like, didn't you just say you want this guy and you're still fantasizing about, I don't know. I was just so confused. Yeah, that first sentence right there literally explains how I felt. Instead, Mal swoops in like some type of savior. Just because he has lost loved ones doesn't make him equipped to fix her. That I didn't really care about. I thought, yeah, it's sweet that he's helping her, but also they barely knew each other for him to be like, I need to help you. That was a little weird. I was like, wait, you don't even know each other? Like, why are you trying to help her so bad? That was also just very weird to me. Their first like intimate scene, I was like cringing so bad. It was so bad. Like the stuff that she was saying, oh my god. It was just so, I was literally cringing. I also listened to the audiobook, so maybe that's a problem with how I felt, but I feel like even if I was reading it, I was gonna cringe. Just what was being said, I was like, oh my god, I need to finish this book right now. So the last like few pages I was just like skimming because I couldn't anymore. I don't really understand how people love this book. I mean, good for you, but I didn't see it. I did not like this book. Yeah, those are my thoughts on Promise Me Sunshine. Like I said, I'm still not going to like completely cross off Ready or Not because I've heard amazing things about this book and I really do want to read it. So we'll see when I do get to that. But those are my thoughts on Promise Me Sunshine. And then obviously the first book I read in this video was The Charty Method. I also gave that book 2 stars. I didn't enjoy it. The beginning I was interested in how the story was gonna go, but then towards the end I was just like, yeah, I'm kind of over it. And then Wild Side, what did I give this book? I think I gave this 3.5 stars. Obviously I love any Elsie Silver book. That was a bit of a shocker to me that I didn't enjoy it. What a video. Like I read 3 new releases and I was kind of disappointed by all of them. So that kind of sucks. I do have another video like this that I want to film throughout April and May. I think it'll be coming out probably in June because there are so many new releases coming out in April and May. I know Emily Henry's new book, Abby Jimenez's book, Jessa Hastings, which if you don't know, that's the author of Magnolia Parks, and I can't wait to see what that book is about because you guys know, obviously. I do plan on rereading Magnolia Park soon too because I just miss that whole series and the characters and everything. Yeah, there are so many new releases coming out very, very soon, so I'm so excited. And I do plan on doing another video like this, and hopefully I don't get disappointed like I did in this video because this is just like kind of a sad video. I like didn't really enjoy any of the books I read. I would say it put me in a slump, but not really. Not in a slump. It's more of like, I'm scared that now every book I read, I'm just not gonna love. Like, I don't know what's happening. I just started a book today. I got like 40% through it and I DNF'd it because it just wasn't good. But I also read reviews on that book and people were saying that it's not good. I don't know if it's the books I'm reading or if it's me. We'll see, but I'm gonna try to mood read for the rest of this month. There are only like 10, 11 days left of the month, so I'm gonna try and mood read what I want, no pressure, and see if I actually find a book that I like because it's rough out here. Yeah, that is the end of this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching me read new releases and be sadly disappointed by them. Make sure to give this video a like, subscribe, turn on your notifications so you know when I post my next video, comment any video ideas you have for me to do, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!